So you might notice that I'm in a very different place right now. And where I am is actually in Singapore. So how about this? Talking about sign of the times, I am in a place called Wolfworks, not in the B1G1 office. Oh, by the way, for those of you who don't know me, this is Paul Dunn. And not in the B1G1 office, but would you believe in Singapore's very, very first, collective space, it's all out there actually, for women. So I'm kind of like an intruder today. And what that means is you might actually see women in the background. There you go, you can see some right there, wandering past, and kind of interesting. So they locked me away in this little room with you. So wherever it is that you are right now, thank you so much for joining us. You may or may not be able to see Masami, and she's going to be joining us a little later today. But let's first of all go up back there and share that screen. And thank you for joining us on a, let's see, on a Thursday. Usually we do these things on a Wednesday, but today is Thursday, and I'm right there, as you saw before, in Singapore. Right there. So let's talk about what we are going to do in this Connect Plus. And those of you who are here for the first time, this will be new. For those of you who've been here before, welcome back. So you kind of know the format. So let's go through the format. Mind you, the format might dynamically change today. So first we're going to have a look at the huge power of small. Then we were going to do some partner point, but we'll talk about that in a moment. Then we have Masami's update, which a little bird told me actually is like 4 updates and maybe a surprise all in one today. So we're looking forward to that right at the end, which means don't you dare go anywhere. You make sure you stay tuned. And talking of staying tuned, and as a way of connecting with us, here's what we'd love you to do. That is, you are somewhere there in that globe right now. I know from looking at the attendee list, the guest list, we've got people from right around the world. So this is your opportunity on the Zoom chat, not on the Q&A today, but on the chat. If you'd be kind enough to just answer those 2 questions, where are you? And hopefully we're coming through loud and clear. And if you would be sure and do that, then that will give us a kind of indication of all of the things. Oh, look at this. I'm seeing so much stuff coming in. Wow. Awesome. Let's see. Stuart in the Hunter Valley. Karina in the south of the UK. Thank you, Karina. And thank you for being with us a couple of weeks ago as well. Rory filling my cup right there in Perth. Kevin, fantastic to have you. Christine, wow, from Lake Macquarie. Matthew over there, thank you, Matthew, in Scarborough, Melbourne. Lee from Brighton, hello, Lee. Wow, it's so cool to have you. Joshua, all the way from South Africa, from Johannesburg, fantastic. And Joshua was actually going to be doing something today, but he isn't. But I'll tell you about that. And Jamie, welcome, Jamie, from Nottingham. Oh, Jane, again, Jane. Oh, so lovely to see Rob Reynolds. We haven't seen you forever. So nice to have you back. Anyway, I've got to stop doing this, otherwise we'll spend all time sort of welcoming you. But thank you very, very much for doing that. And thank you for making it interactive. There will be all sorts of opportunities, actually, for you to interact. So keep that the chat box open. So let us get started. And what we're going to do is we are going to get started in an interesting way. And that interesting way, let me just make one little change on my screen here. There we go. That interesting change that we're going to do is we are going to be talking about the huge power of small, but it's kind of interesting how we're going to be doing that today. In fact, we are going to, well, in fact, those of you who are new, look at what you've missed. Look at all these things that we've been doing on the huge power of small. We've been talking about pricing, we've been talking about acknowledging, we've been talking about presenting, which, by the way, was one of the most popular ones. We've been talking about how you use it in business building, this huge power of small thing. In signage, that was fascinating. In giving, this was great. This was a behavioral economics thing with Bree Williams, who, by the way, has got a brand new book out, which we might talk about, not on this one, but next time we get together. Oh, the best in the world, how you do the best in the world, and Paul Jackson will remember that one because that was a bit of a boom. We talked about words and spirit, but today have a look at what we are going to be talking about. And in a sense, it's it's kind of like a paradox. Here we are talking about the power of small, but really what we're talking about today is this, how you and I can play a bigger game. Hi, Steph, all the way from New Zealand. Playing a bigger game is what today is all about. Now, there are a number of people on this call who were at a very, very special event at the beginning of July. And that special event was the B1G1 100 million conference. Now, Masami, I think it's okay. I'll play this from here. I'll be okay with this. And those of you who were there, first of all, let me play what I'm going to play you. This is what you experienced if you were there. And if you missed it, this is what you missed. And everything that you're about to see, and right off the back of this, has a lot to do with how you and I play a bigger game. Have a look at this.
Just take a breath, and I feel so free. Another adventure is sure on its way. Let's take a picture before we escape. And you rap to us, look. We're breaking through somehow. Well, I just know the dreams do come true. We're breaking through. Yeah. Now we're breaking through. Can you feel it too? We're breaking
Everybody joining us now, whether or not you were there, you get that this was a wonderful time. Now, you might say, what does that have to do with playing a bigger game? Well, let me just explain that. What it has to do with it is this. Everybody at that conference, and you've probably heard lots of people say this, say, you know, it was the best, by far the best conference they've ever been to. And this is not a plug for another conference, by the way. But everybody said that. Even people who were regular conference goers were saying things like that. And then I got to talk with those people and saying, why is that? Why is that? And every single person that I spoke to said what it said to me was, there's the opportunity to play a bigger game. And that became sort of like, nobody ever said those words, but that became it. So I started to think about, how can we use the power of small, which is what this particular segment is, of course, all about, to illustrate what the power of small is, or what that has to do with playing a bigger game. So in order to do that, let me just share my screen with you again. No videos this time. This is just going to be some interesting ideas about how you use the power of small, in fact, very, very, very tiny words, just to play a bigger game. And in order to do that, I want you to come with me for the moment. And Jane, I think you're going to love this. I want you to come across to Perth. Now, I need to say right now that the website that you're seeing from a company called Aug'16, I need to say that right now they are not a B1G1 client. They will be next week, by the way, but right now they are not. I want you to have a look at what they've done here. This is, well, you can see it, our $1,000 or $1 million challenge, and the financial goal this year is to add $1 million to our clients' bottom line. Let me just blow that up so you can see it. Now, of course, there's an interesting little grammatical error here. Are we talking clients, bottom lines, or where should the apostrophe be? But irrespective of that, take a look at what you see there, and let me see if I can annotate it so that you can see what I am referring to. I want you to have a look at this little piece right here. Hopefully you can see the annotation. Now, let's just imagine for the moment that that headline was a good headline. Doesn't matter whether it was or whether it wasn't. But take a look at what then happens. And what then happens is we get into what we do. And what I want us to see if we can get, just like all of the people at the conference got, is that the moment you do that, what actually happens is you start to play a smaller game. So in other words, this is how we're going to do it, and so on and so forth. So let's see how just by changing the words, well, it's probably a little more than changing the words. It's actually changing the words and really understanding why we do what we do. And let's suppose we change those words so that they read this. We're doing this to make a real impact, an impact on the lives of each and every client and their families. And we're certain that that impact will flow over to our community and to our world. Come and join us. Now, I think most all of us, by the way, get up on the chat and let me know whether you think that is much more compelling than the one that you saw before. But what is interesting about this is the moment that we think outside ourselves, as in, how we do stuff, but talk about why we do stuff, then automatically we will play a bigger game. Let me show you another example. This one from a coaching business, which used to say, we make sure that our clients achieve their goals and fulfill their dreams. This says, we make sure our clients achieve their goals and fulfill their dreams. In fact, one of the things that used to happen is when you would go into this place, it would say, we fulfill our clients' dreams. Now let's just change that by just using the power of small and some words and see if, just by changing things, we can play a bigger game. Let's do that this way. Have a look. We help our clients vastly exceed what they thought they could achieve. Now you see what's interesting, so that they can play a bigger game. And maybe we would say play a bigger game as well, which is then reflected in their families, in our community, in our country, and in our world. So hopefully what you're seeing is this very simple idea that is very central to B1G1, which is really getting on purpose and developing your why and so on, and then expressing it in words that everybody can get to. Really, the moment force us to think outside ourselves, And the moment we think outside ourselves, then we will automatically be playing a bigger game. So hopefully that is a useful little 5 minutes from me. Maybe it's a little more than 5 minutes, but hopefully very, very useful for you. Now, where that leads us, oh, by the way, I forgot to mention, all of those things that we talked about before that we did in the 9 sessions before this, where we talked about pricing and all those sorts of things. If you'd like to get copies of all of those things, do let us know, and we'll be happy to send you those things. It'll take you a while to look through them, but they're very, very good sessions, so do let us know via email if you'd like to get in them. Now, one of the things that happened today is because I got stuck in a place where the internet is not as fast as we would want it to be, then we were going to do Partner Point. Now, for those of you who haven't seen Partner Point before, what it is where one of our partners from around the world, and this particular time was going to be Joshua. Joshua, who runs a fantastic social enterprise in Johannesburg called Earn, E-A-R-N. You can look it up. Does fantastic things. And so what we've done is we've kind of held that over because he was going to have 72 seconds, just 72 seconds, to explain all of those things to you. So what that does is, Joshua, thank you very much for putting up with the fact that it wasn't quite as fast as we wanted to do. But by the way, if any of you listening to us right now would like to play a part in Partner Point and share some ideas, or perhaps offer some help to someone, or perhaps say, hey, I need some help, then this is the place to do it in what we call Partner Point. So what we're going to do is not go there, but where we are going to go, let's have a look, is we are going to go, and she has got a very, very fast internet. I am aware of that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just do this. So we are going to get Masami's update. And Masami, what I am going to do is stop my share so that everybody around the world can say hello to you, and you can say hello to them. Hey, thanks for being there. Great to have you.
Hi, Paul, and hi, everyone. Thank you for being here today. So yeah, I go into then the B1G1 update, and this time I have.
Did you want to tell everybody where you are today? Because you're not at the B1G1 office either.
Hi, Kerry. Yeah, I'm working from home today, and normally I'm at the B1G1 office. So yeah, but it's so amazing, isn't it, that we could be connected from anywhere around the world. Paul being in one of the B1G1 businesses office, they're in Singapore, and working from home, but you could be connected from wherever you are. So yeah, thank you for choosing to be here. So the B1G1 update this month have.
Am I right in saying you've got 4 things for us today? Is that right?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. So let me just do my screen share. Okay, so the one of the 4 updates. So Paul began this call with the intro video. You can get the access to the smooth, nice version of it from after this call. But here are some of the pictures. You can see the kind of like experience we had right there, and. One of the really great thing about the conference was, of course, the connection. We don't get connected to each other because we are in many different parts of the world. So this is a very, very good opportunity. So that aspect was fantastic. Another part of it, because it's the theme of the conference was business for good, and we kind of crafted the entire content based on how we can together maximize our impact by growing our business, but also growing our giving at the same time. And we tried to do that with everything we did during this conference. So we had special 5 keys to cover during the conference, starting with purpose, and then during the 5 themes, we introduced 2 very special speakers, and they came online because they couldn't be there. So one person is, I'm sure everybody is familiar with him, Simon Sinek. So he did a special interview with Paul and shared new insight, which we haven't heard of actually, like on
other, new stuff.
Yeah, very new things. And then we listened to Daniel Flynn from Australia amazing organization called Thank You, and his journey of entrepreneurship, getting started to becoming amazing leader. And so we thought those kind of things would be a great thing to share with you, even though some of you couldn't be there. So we put everything together, all of the 5 keys, not just the session, some of the session videos, but some of the insights that we kind of got out of that, and then put it on a page. So what we will be doing is we will be sending you a link where you can access all that in one place. So please check your email afterward. You don't need to remember the link right now. So the next update is, last time I think I mentioned that book Giving Business was coming up. And we did official launch at the conference as well. So this book published, the latest book published by Buy One Give One, is a book which is dedicated to you as well, because you you can find the link on B1G1 site. But another thing which we just launched, which is quite new, is the impact test. So just after reading the book, you could actually go and then take an impact test, which is a simple test where you could just answer a set of questions and find out about your impact score. And you can share that with others and invite others to take the impact test, or your team members might want to see how they are doing and so on. So the Giving Business book and impact test are available from this link, givingbusiness.global. And again, you don't need to memorize it, because we'll be sending you the email with all the links. So the next thing is, when we think about giving, and we are just so always amazed by your continuous giving, and how you incorporate your giving message in your business, on your website, and so on. Sometimes what happens is, because when we are doing what we do, and we are working at the office, and we are dealing with different business issues on a daily basis, it might not be as easy to connect with the actual giving that you are doing. So we've been working quietly behind the scene to try to add a bit more experience to your overall joy of giving. So now I want to show you, just in case you haven't actually discovered it by exploring everywhere in the B1G1 system, I'd like to show you where you can find that additional little inspiration and surprise. So let me just go to the website. I hope you can see this here.
We can.
And so,
we can.
Can you?
Yeah, we can.
Okay. So when you go on the site, and the very familiar page, is the project listing page. But under that tab, you may or may not have noticed this item link called the project update. Right. So if you click on the project update link, now what happens is that all of the updates that's relevant to you, because you have given to the project of the organization, will automatically come up as we add, what it calls is add more updates. So this is just my account, but if you scroll down, you could see the updates from different organizations, and some updates have an image, and let's say you liked this image, then if you click that, you could get, expand the image, download the image as well. Scroll down, and then what you can do is you can also see in relation to the giving that you have done. So it lists the past impact activities that you have done for this project, and then some stories or pictures, or sometimes videos, new update videos, and so on. So what that gives you is the ability for you to let's say say to your team members, saying like, well, you remember that we donated, we gave like so many bricks, and then now there was an update about this project, and this is what happened. So this is a great place to occasionally check and connect with. And I hope sometimes when you feel like, well, I need an extra just a little bit more extra inspiration, then you go there and then get connected with your giving as well as with your purpose too. So that's the third item. So now back to the final thing. So the fourth item, this actually got launched during the conference as well. So you could see like how so many things got released and launched during the Business for Good conference. But because many of you actually haven't seen this, I wanted to highlight this very special opportunity, a program called the B1G1 Champion Program. And so what happens is, if in the past you wished that, well, I wish I could introduce B1G1 to other business owners in a more effective way. If you had a thought like that, then you can say, well, I want to become a B1G1 champion. And what that gives you straight away is some things like you can use. One is this seemingly familiar unlock the power of giving key, which is loaded with additional content such as like PowerPoint presentation you may want to use to talk about your involvement, or some additional videos or project images that you can use, and so on. So it's got all sorts of things loaded in there. And then another thing is you could also get this little bumper sticker, which is also a sticker that you can put on your office or shop window, or to show you are part of Business for Good. And also it gives you a unique code that you can give to others. We call it the champion code. So when people use this champion code to sign up with B1G1, then of course your accounts get linked together, but also there will be a special giving credit gift given to both you and then the person you introduced to B1G1. So you could kind of spread their giving footprint and create a greater impact together. So this is really all about, power of connection, power of purpose, power of giving, and you being part of this community means so much to us. And, we are always kind of listening and trying to learn from your experience, because you are the ones who are in business, championing, the giving business, as well as making a difference. So we would love you to have in the champion group, because from here we will be having a dialogue and discussion within the champion group to really lead like what champions can do. So these like things that I talked about and showed you is just the initial beginning of what you will receive as a champion, as a part of Champion Kit. But after that, we will be inviting you into a special dialogue to really see how we can spread this giving community and create many more giving businesses around the world. So
awesome.
So,
awesome.
Update.
Okay. Thank you very much, Masami.
If you are thinking, well, I'm really interested in becoming a B1G1 champion, then there is a link in the email that you receive, and you can click to just get the email window open, and that will send the email to Paul. So all you need to say is, I want to become a B1G1 champion.
Very good. Very, very good. Masami, just one thing before you go. First of all, thank you. As I often say, I wish there was an applause button on Zoom, but there isn't. So thank you for doing all of that and for doing it very, very quickly. 4 interesting things. And by the way, lots of lovely feedback. Thanks, Steph. Steph says about the project update. She says, that's so cool. I'm always looking for stories to weave into my workshops with clients or social media posts. And this is a great resource. You're right, Steph. Thank you. And by the way, thank you for being on your first, I know this is your first Connect Plus. And also thank you for your first giving as well. Very, very important. Now, Masami, what I thought we might do, can you just get up on your screen the page that people need to go to have a look at the B1G1 conference, particularly where the Simon links are and stuff like that. Can you get that up whilst I just do something on the screen? Okay. One of the things that I'd like to do, there you go, Masami, thank you very much. And again, my apologies for the choppy video, but Masami, let's just, oh, you are sharing your screen right there, okay? So just give us the link to that. Actually, let me put that on the chat so that everybody gets the link to that. So that is, or do you want to put it on the chat, or shall I? Oh my goodness, it's such a big link.
Yeah, because it's not shortened link, so that's why I said we will be emailing everybody.
Oh, okay, so everybody's going to get it, right? So,
but if you are desperate, I can put it on the chat for those.
Oh, go on, put it on the chat, so people can actually, because they don't need to see it. I mean, all they need to do is click it and it can link. So go ahead.
Yeah.
Just, so, Masami, what I want you to do, though, I want you, if you would, to just scroll down that page, just if you would. So here we go, the whole thing about reconfirming. Yeah. Now, just stop right there, if you would. Just stop right there, if you would. I know that many of us have, on the call we've watched Start With Why. We've read the book Start With Why. We've done all of those things, right? Have a look at this, because as Masami said before, Simon does stuff. In fact, I heard from one of Simon's people today about the feedback that they've been getting. Part of that feedback was, by the way, that whenever we played a video at the conference, everybody stood up. It was like standing ovation stuff. But anyway, if you haven't watched this, watch it. In particular, if you're hiring or working with millennials, watch the first part of it. This is an edited version, but it's still got great stuff on it. And then towards the end, about 6 minutes from the end, Simon talks about something really interesting that is, well, you're just going to have to listen to it. But one of the things that he says, which links back to this whole playing a bigger game, is you'll hear him say it, but better than you hear him say it, is this: all purpose is human. Now, many of us on this particular call are not in Australia, so you will not know who this guy is. If you could just scroll down to now stay right there. Stay right there.
Okay.
Stop right there. And Helena, what I was saying about the millennials is, if you have millennials that you work with, watch that Simon Sinek video. Right? Now, these guys here are not even millennials. They're sort of sub-millennials. One of them is 12 and one of them is 15. Now, you will be hearing their story. In fact, we will send you a link to their story. But if you are in London, then stay tuned, because they are going to be in London very, very soon. You need to hear their story. We'll send you the link for that story. It's an amazing, amazing story. And since everybody came together, and Kerry was talking about this too, everybody came together at the Business for Good conference, their world has got even bigger and even more exciting than it was at that point. And then, Masami, if you go down one more little place on the screen, thank you for being my web browser for the moment. Then you need to have a look at this guy. No matter where you are in the world, you need to connect with Daniel Flynn, or at least connect with what he said. In 23 minutes, if you lead a company, you are going to get some astonishing ideas on purpose and on leadership. In fact, if you've been watching the Olympics, which I'm sure many of us have, there's a really interesting piece on here, pre-Olympics, about an analogy of rowing. And as a leader, once you hear that, you go, oh, okay, I'm seeing things a different way. The point of all of this is, yeah, Kerry, you're right. These guys are amazing. The point of this is, here we are connecting together in somewhat weird circumstances today because of internet speed. But do make a point of following up on this sometime tonight. If you haven't already watched it, please go to that page. Masami, that's basically what I wanted to say, aside from thank you. But just before I say the thank you, do you want to stop sharing your screen for a second? That would be great. Thank you very much, Masami. Is there anything you wanted to add to where we've been? Well, Kerry's asking a question, are these public pages we can share? Very good question, Kerry, and I think the answer to that is yes. But Masami is going to tell us that right now. Okay? So, was there anything else that you wanted to say, Masami?
Now, like so many people saying, like, how can we help more? How can we get involved better? How can we connect with each other, with other business, people, and so on? So this voice is there. This year and later this year and next year onward, our focus is how to actually really capture this real connection, not just number of connections through the digital marketing and so on, but the real connection and how we're going to express that.
Okay. Excellent.
together. So that's going to be a key focus. So I'm looking forward to sharing more with you.
Hey, I'm looking forward to it as well. I want to say, under pressure of slow internet speed, thank you to everybody who was here. Do look at the little note that Hashima most likely has already prepared, which has got all sorts of links in it and all sorts of things like that, for you to click. But make sure that you click, because, as you know, the power of any idea is only ever in its implementation. So here's what I'm going to do. Even though it's choppy, and even though you might not hear, I'm doing it a different way this time. I just want to leave you with what for us has been an awesome connection. And Masami, I loved what you said. The power of the getting together in the conference, but now the power of being able to get together here and finding out more about each other and how we all can come together and make a fabulous and sustainable difference in our world. This is awesome. From all of us to all of you, thank you. Keep tuned if you want to see that video again, or if you joined online a little late, and we will show it to you. This is our goodbye to you. Thank you, everybody. We're going to keep the line open for just a little while, so if there's stuff that you want to say, just go ahead and say that up on the chat. And for now, let's go back, figuratively speaking at least, all the way to Bali as a little sort of farewell. Here we go.